You are not going to have honeymoon with me. It's a honey sun. Forever, eternal. Don't worry about you coming down. I'll again come and again raise. I won't even give 10 days break. Many people were messaging. Last initiation was so high. Something has happened. The plants I kept became different color. My pet is highly excited, energetic. Even I do not know what has happened inside me during the multiverse initiation. Now I'll take you to the next level initiation. So it's all fundamentally the power of initiation. Taking you to the next. That's all. I revealed few truths in this session. If you remember them, enjoy. If you don't remember, don't worry. By the virtue of you being here, I can initiate you. Make the consciousness of Paramashiva, which is like 1,000 suns, stages, reflect on your brain. Your brain is capable of that. You need to know that. When the consciousness of Paramashiva floods itself into your brain, the space of Paramashiva enters into your nervous system. The time of Paramashiva manifests through your skin. And just explodes as power manifestation in you. In your life, miracles, health, length, breadth, depth, in all dimensions. It just starts manifesting. My personal advice for anyone who is very intimate with me, understand, who are very loving, intimate with me, for them, who really take me seriously, for you, I only tell one thing: as much as possible, stop entertaining conflict, or stop enjoying, getting addicted to this conflict-centric life. See, you somehow feel you should desire something, and deep down you feel you should not get it. If you get it, you may feel bored, and you may take it for granted, and you should struggle for it, and then life should go on in this struggle, and this struggle is tasty. Some stupid conflict, enjoying mental setup, that kind of a software programming has been done inside you, which you also cherish it. Drop that stupidity. That's all you need. If you want to manifest, manifest, enjoy. If you don't want, drop it, drop. But be integrated to what you want and what you don't want. Understand that that's all. As I said, life is all about integrity, not about good bad. It is not at all about good bad. It is all about integrity. You are a powerful possibility. You are a powerful possibility. You are a powerful possibility. Listen to that. Consciousness is more powerful than the power of gravity, electromagnetic force, light nuclear force, and strong nuclear force. Gravity, gravitation force, gravity force, then the electromagnetic force, then light nuclear force, then strong nuclear force. All these forces, all the four, are much lower than the power of consciousness. Your power of consciousness as a capacity to reflect Paramashiva's consciousness. As I said, today's initiation, I'll give you the altered states of consciousness, the higher altered states of consciousness. Actually, I'm going to give 108 important things I brought from Kailasa to planet Earth, starting from unclutching initiation, complete completion, the DNA of very core of Paramashiva, the science of power manifestation, like this, more than 108 best gifts till now I brought it from Kailasa and perfected it. I'm going to give it all these 108 through this Paramashivoham level 3. And before initiating in the Paramashivoham level 3, I'll give it to all of you, to the whole world. I am not interested in making money. The whole 108 initiation, I'll give it to all of you free of cost before I start the Paramashivoham level 3 openly. But I am very clear, only if you are committed and going to sit sincerely, you will receive it. It is so unfortunate that human beings, unless they pay, they don't sit with commitment. Anything comes free, they take it for granted so much. You are integrated to your money. That is why I charge you. If you are just integrated to me, not to your money, these 108 sessions, all the 108 initiations, I will give it to you. Actually, I decided I will even postpone the Paramashivoham level 3 10 days. Means earlier it was supposed to start 10 days before the Shivaratri. Now I decided to your money. That is why I charge you. If you are just integrated to me, not to your money, this 108 sessions, all the 108 initiations, I'll give it to you. On Shivaratri day, I'll start the Paramashivoham. Even postpone the Paramashivoham level 3 10 days. I just wanted all of you to know, 10 days before the Shivaratri. I am not interested in money, but most of you are so integrated to money. Unless you give money, you don't receive sincerely. You take it for granted. That is why I am asking you to give some Guru Dakshina. If you are absolutely integrated to me and not integrated to money, you attend all these webinars and initiations I am going to give from now till Shivaratri, you will receive Paramashivoham 3. I just wanted all of you to know, Paramashivoham 3, I am going to give a focused initiations of all these 108. Asking you to give some Guru Dakshina because you are only integrated to money and you understand only the language of money. Only if you give money, you will open up your whole being and very sincere about every minute, every session. Otherwise, you take the session for granted. Shivaratri is March 1st. So I'll start the program on March 1st on Shivaratri day. Just today I decided. You are only integrated to money and you understand only the language of money. Many, this middle class mind, oh, why should I pay for initiation? Because you are integrated to money only. You understand the language of money, you have to give Guru Dakshina in the form of money. That's all, nothing else. If you think you are integrated to me, then come and attend all these sessions. I'll give the initiation, receive it. I don't have a problem. You know the difference. When you give money, how you receive the initiation, and when you don't give money, how you take it for granted, all of that you know. I don't need to advise you. As I said, I do not judge you as good or bad. I only look at the whole thing as integrity. To what you are integrated, that's all. To what you are integrated, it's all over. That's all. I'll give you all the 108 great gifts I brought from the Kailasa. I don't need to advise you. As I said, I do not judge you as DNA of Paramashiva, Paramashivatva. I only look at the whole completion. As integrity. To what you are integrated, that's all. Paramashiva state, space, powers. Every dimension I brought. That's all. I'll give it as an experiential initiation to all of you. That's all. I tell you, if you do hard work, your whole life you will make some few million. If you do smart work, your whole life you will work and make maybe few 100 millions. If you understand the concept of money, you will make billions. If you understand and able to operate the principle of money, you will loan trillions. Whole concept of money I defined just in this one statement. If you do hard work, your whole life, you will make few $1 million. If you do smart work, your whole life, you may make few $100 million. If you understand the concept of money, you will make billions. If you understand and able to manifest, operate the principle of money, you will own trillions.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity.
I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to Kailasa. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment.
Yes, Nithyanandam, welcoming back all the viewers and participants watching us live. And we just saw a wonderful webinar by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism directly revealed the time and space dimension and how we exist in the parallel universe and how we can tap into that higher self. And all of this, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully said, that the Paramashivoham will be beginning on the 1st of March, on the auspicious day of Paramashivaratri, which is starting just in a few days. And if any of the viewers, if any of the participants did not yet register for the Paramashivoham Level 3 program, you can go ahead to kailasa.org/Paramashivoham to register for the Paramashivoham program and put forward your intention so the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be blessing your intentions.
Yes. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared the importance of experiencing the higher states of consciousness, the vertical time zones, and he is making everything available, like the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared at the end of the webinar. The only reason why he is asking for money is because of our integrity to money. The entire society revolves around money, and we are highly cognizing money in our life. So naturally, when we engage in something with money, our depth of involvement is better and stronger, and therefore that is why the initiations will be manifesting in us in a much stronger way. So inviting each and everyone to go to kailasa.org/Paramashivoham to register and to show your intention to be in the space with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for 21 days for the Paramashivoham Level 3, which is starting in only a few days. Like mentioned a little bit earlier, it is extremely auspicious not only to sit in the presence of the avatar, something that by itself, it is so powerful and enough for us to have a cognitive shift, an irreversible cognitive shift, and raise our life to the next level. But on top of that, having the auspicious energy of the Paramashivaratri, which is also going to be a kind of a rocket booster to shoot us to those higher states of consciousness and vertical time zones even faster. So such an auspicious happening and alignment of things. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared from the Decoded Time and Space webinar, time in its three dimensions, linear, circular, vertical, when it is understood, the mere understanding and conscious decision to use it is enough to get all the boons, blessings, powers, including enlightenment from Paramashiva. Time in the linear level, when you understand the time in the linear motion level with your ideas about length, it is a calendar, morning, evening, next day, next week, next month, past week, past month, etc. Time understood in the dimension of length is mere calendar. It can be 10,000 years in the past or 10,000 years in the future. It is a mere calendar used to document the history. That's all, nothing more than that. Time understood in the level of breadth, a little more than the level of length, is Panchangam, where the idea of linear movement of time, the documentation of the calendar, is substantiated and supported with the knowledge of how the stars move in the Bhumandala, or how the stars are perceived in the Bhumandala. That is the understanding about time in the breadth level. What Paramashiva reveals in Vedas and Vedantic truths, Veda and Vedanta, Agama and Agamanta, all four is evolved by Paramashiva directly. Understanding about time in the depth level is astrology, the movements of the planets, Adityadi, Navagraha Devatas, Aditya, Soma, Mangala, Buddha, Guru, Shukra, Shani, Rahu, Ketu. These 9 grahas, movements, 12 rashis and their impacts, 28 nakshatras and their influence, and the Indradi, Dasha Digbalakas and their contribution, all this put together, when you understand time, it is understanding about the time in the depth level. That becomes the science called astrology. If you understand the time in the dimension of time itself, like the inner image of time, it is pure consciousness, pure freedom. In the Vedantic Upanishads, Paramashiva gives clearly the inner image about time. What time feels about itself is absolute freedom.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully explains that time perceived in the length dimension level is calendar, chronological time. Few million years in the past and few million years in the future. It is just chronological calendar. Time perceived and cognized in the breadth dimension is Panchanga, chronological calendar supported and substantiated by the cosmological events, like the movements of the stars, planets, and all that. Time perceived in the dimension of depth is astrology, how the cosmological events and movements, the grahas, rashis, nakshatra, and dikpalakas directly impact time, and how that time impacted by cosmological beings impact you. This science is astrology. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is beautifully giving the time in all the three aspects of length, breadth, and depth. If you want time's self-introduction, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, unclutching, is the best state where time introduces itself to you. absolute freedom. Then comes circular time, circular motion, circular dimension of time, repetitive births and deaths, trillions of times goes on and on till your consciousness consciously decides to step out of time from that circular rut. When you push that circular time dimension of time behind you, you manifest the powers of Kala Bhairava, you conquer time. So here, beautifully, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is expanding on how we can know the introduction of time in the most pure state, that is the space of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which is unclutching. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully expands. Time becomes your servant. It does what you want. It does not bind you anymore. Time in the vertical time zone can get anything your consciousness wants, including enlightenment. That is the ultimate. Time in the vertical time zone is the Trishul Mahakala Bhairava is carrying. Time in the circular movement is the Prabhavali behind Mahakala Bhairava. Push the circular time behind you. Keep the vertical time for your success in everything. I will empower you with the time as power with the vertical time. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is expanding on how the time is just the ornaments of Bhagavan Kala Bhairava, Bhagavan Kala Bhairava's Trishul, and the Prabhavali, the circular time, is the Prabhavali, and the vertical time is the Trishul, which Kala Bhairava holds. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, will empower us with the time so that we can achieve the ultimate space, which is enlightenment. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully expands further. You cannot judge people as good and bad. You can only understand people as integrated and non-integrated. If you want to solve problems related to human relationships, start categorizing people based on integrity. He is integrated to this, she is integrated to that. Think in that language, you will be successful. Many of us, many times in our relationships, we can see that we categorize the people around us as good or bad, and then we continue to have incompletions and the resistance and all the miscommunication, misunderstandings happen when we categorize the people as good or bad. Only when we start thinking in the scale line of integrity and start understanding human beings from the angle of integrity, only then you will see that you will not have the problems related to human relationships.
If I want some result from him, he should be integrated to this. If he is not going to be integrated, let me choose somebody who will be integrated to that and get the result from that person. As far as the experience of time and cognition of time, the moment you understand its various dimensions of existence, its various levels of existence, this knowledge liberates.
Yes. So all these were the various powerful cognitions which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had expanded on the webinar of Decode Time and Space. And all of us can go to the official YouTube channel of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda. And there we can see all the webinars that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given for all of us to make us understand about the various aspects of time and space and parallel universes and vertical time zones. And it is no more just a fantasy which we read in books or see in movies, but it is the living day-to-day experience where continuously in our life we see how we are able to function based on the parallel universes, function based on connecting to our own selves in the parallel universe and expressing those state, space, and powers of Paramashiva.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also recently shared in the webinars about mutation, the superconscious mutation which happens in us. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that when we have a glimpse of those vertical time zones, the mutation starts to happen in our body. We have been introduced to mutants or mutation by the entertainment industry in movies and web series. But the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that unfortunately, the idea of mutants, which was fed to us, is very incomplete. It is only the mutation which happens in the lower time zones, not in the higher time zones. In the lower time zones, some powers also start to manifest, but the intelligence and the compassion and enlightenment does not come along with it. Therefore, these powers are used for destruction and selfish reasons. But when the mutation happens, the superconscious mutation happens with the experiences and glimpses of the higher vertical time zones, then the intelligence of enlightenment, the compassion of enlightenment also comes along with those powers. And therefore, this level of mutation and these mutants, if we can say, are an extreme blessing and are extremely auspicious for the universe and the cosmos. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism during this Paramashivoham level 3 is going to allow the superconscious mutation to happen in us as we experience the higher vertical time zones. Having powers is important, but the intelligence, the compassion, and the enlightenment is also extremely important for those powers to do good to the universe, to people, and to beings in the cosmos. So that is exactly what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing with us. He has been preparing us for the last many weeks now. Every day, almost, a new initiation comes as we sit in the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, cognize the powerful cognitions which he shares, and go through the initiation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism even shared recently that one superconscious mutation is equivalent to trillions of Shaktinipada. That is the gap and how intense superconscious mutation is. He even shared that he is nothing but the superconscious mutation of Paramashiva, and he will replicate this superconscious mutation in each and every one of us. So surely something extremely excited to have and to get involved into this Paramashivoham level 3. So sitting 21 days in the presence of the avatar, in the presence of the incarnation of Paramashiva, to allow this superconscious mutation to happen inside of us. Like mentioned a little bit previously, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that irreversible power manifestation will happen in us, irreversible empowerment, irreversible enlightenment is going to take place and happen in each and every one of us. So register your intention or your registration at kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. Do not miss this opportunity. Put your obstacles aside. Remember that when you have a cognitive shift and an experience of the higher states of consciousness and the vertical time zones, your experience of yourself and the world takes a quantum leap forward. And when we leap forward, the cognitions that we realize make all the problems that we cognize now completely redundant. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared, he does not give solutions to problems, he makes problems redundant. Allowing the superconscious mutation to happen in us is going to make the problems that we consider as real and we struggle with right now, these problems are going to be made redundant. So do not miss this opportunity to have a fresh start in your life, allow the superconscious breakthrough to happen and refresh yourself, rejuvenate yourself, start fresh, no matter where you are in the stage of your life, whatever stage you are at. Get a fresh start, sit with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on this auspicious beginning of Paramashivaratri for the 21 days and allow this superconscious mutation to happen in you.
Yes, as Ashtoshananda Maharaj was sharing, it is just our decision to enter and make ourselves available for the superconscious mutation. As the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully put it, it is just one decision that we need to take to attend the Paramashivoham Level 3 program and literally transform ourselves. As the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said, it is now time for the human beings to evolve into the divine superhuman. It is, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, for that very purpose, has come down to planet Earth to make this conscious shift. And all of us should not miss this opportunity, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is literally giving as a gift from Bhagavan Paramashiva, revealing in the Vedas and Agamas. And till now, the science has been lost for various reasons. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving all those sciences. So let us all take a few moments to make sure that we have put our intention for the Paramashivoham Level 3 program starting in just a few days. And we'll be right back with all of you. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity.
I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to Kailasa. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment.
Yes, welcoming each and everyone back, the viewers on YouTube, Facebook, or any other social media platform. We welcome you. We are about to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism live, so stay tuned as it is going to happen in only few moments from now. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism recently shared in one of the latest address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism how many times in our life we give a signature for the sake of a candy. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanded on how when we are a child and we do something and suddenly we get something which we enjoy, such as a candy, we come to various conclusions and various patterns start to happen in our life. And like that, we do something just for the sake of having something which we consider pleasant. And those patterns keep growing in our life, even when we become adults. So many times in our life is stuck. We are kind of going in circles in a rut, simply because many of the decisions that we make and many of the actions that we make are actually made from a cognition of giving a signature for the sake of getting a candy. And because of that, the breakthrough doesn't happen in our life. And we get stuck in this, like we mentioned a little bit earlier, this circular experience where we keep experiencing the same thing over and over and over again. And we don't really realize that we are doing that. But at the same time, we do feel that there's a lack of fulfillment and there's a lack of general excitement and involvement with life. And that is why these patterns have to be broken. So sitting in the presence of an avatar of Paramashiva, who is the embodiment of superconsciousness, he allows that superconscious breakthrough to happen in you. So those patterns of simply doing something for the sake of a small pleasure, many times unconsciously as well, these are very immature conversations with life, which shrinks us and leave us at the end unfulfilled. So dropping these patterns, and it is not always easy, as we most of the time are not even aware that this is happening. But when do you sit in the presence of Swamiji, of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, when you go through the initiations, when you go through the processes that he guides us into, we start, our level of awareness is raised to higher states of consciousness. And when our awareness raises, we start to see those patterns in our life, and we are then empowered to decide to drop those silly conversations, those simple signatures for the sake of a candy decisions in our life, so that we can make decisions which will have tremendous impact on our life and on the life of people around us, giving us the fulfillment, the expansion, the bliss, and all the auspicious qualities which manifest when we express very higher states of consciousness, higher frequencies, when we experience ourselves in the vertical time zones, when we face our higher identities in the vertical time zones. So all that is going to become an experience for each and every one of us during the Paramashivoham level 3. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being an avatar of Paramashiva, as per Hinduism, can simply transmit the experience. Many times, people have to do tapas, penance, for years and years and years to even have a glimpse of an experience. But we are lucky enough to have Swamiji in our life, where just by sitting in his presence, in the space of listening, in the space of receptivity, we can simply imbibe and experience that ultimate experience. That is the blessing that we have. Not to forget also that the fact that we are in a human body in the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is an extreme blessing and a great boon, as only this human body is hardwired for us to experience the higher time zones, higher states of consciousness, and ultimately oneness with Paramashiva, which is exactly what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing. So do not miss this opportunity to sit in the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can register your intention at kailasa.org/Paramashivoham to experience that breakthrough, to raise your awareness and break free from those silly childhood patterns which are still running inside of our system without us realizing that they're actually the leaders of the major decisions and actions we do in our everyday life. So do not miss this. Decide to have a breakthrough. Decide to get out of this rut Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, actually shared also in a recent webinar that it's all about decision. During one of the initiation into the Parashodasi and the Tripura Sundari initiation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that it's not that we cannot do it, it's the willingness to do it is not there. So we just have to sit with ourselves and decide to do it. Allow that willingness to happen and just make it happen. So like that will to be in the presence of Swamiji during this Paramashivoham level 3 and to undergo this super conscious mutation.
Yes, and there's also a beautiful question from one of the viewer on YouTube asking that I've taken the decision but haven't manifested the Guru Dakshina yet. Can I have some guidance? So beautifully, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, then when we have the authentic intention to be with the Master, when we have that yearning inside us, the seeking inside us, automatically the Guru completely removes all the obstacles and clears the path for us to be with the Guru. As the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was expanding on the Navagrahas and how the Guru is the embodiment, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the embodiment of Dakshinamurti, the ultimate Guru. Whenever we have any problem in our life, whether it might be the health issues or financial issues or issues with relationship, it is just that prayer, that seeking that we have towards the Guru, which will make that happen. So even for Paramashivoham, when we feel anything is an obstacle, there can be thousands of obstacles, but we should also understand that those obstacles are just also given by Paramashiva for us to strengthen that seeking inside us and to come over our impossibilities. A few days ago in the beautiful initiation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism told all the participants to write down 21 things that we thought were impossible before. And I'm sure many of you would have written down the most impossible things that you thought, like the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism mentioned, becoming a billionaire or buying a Ferrari or whatever you feel which is impossible. When all of us wrote that down at that point of time, because of the initiation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, simply, and of course, the Guru Bhakti that we have towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, simply everything started aligning and everything that we wrote, all the 21 things that we wrote started manifesting in our lives. Many of you would have seen there was so tons of Sakshi Pramanas on the social media where every single participant was sharing how they thought something was impossible in their lives. And right after the initiation, something manifested and they changed it from impossible to possibility. So same way in our life, if we see that many of the thought currents or many of the patterns that we have, we think we cannot break them and we feel it is impossible. It might be materialistic things or even the inner emotions and patterns. Sometimes people have the inner image that I am an angry person, I'm a short-tempered person, I can never change, or I easily get hurt by others and this will not change. So there are so many things in our life that are stuck by impossibility. And only when we see the possibility and by the initiation of the Guru, by seeing that trust in the Guru, that he can even move the planets and the Brahmandas for us to achieve the reality that we want to achieve. So with that seeking and with that trust, when we look at everything in our lives, then we will realize that the impossibilities are just strengthening the level of feeling connection and the ability to manifest powers. Many of us in our day-to-day lives, unless we have a problem or unless we face an issue, we do not even go to thinking about either Swamiji or the power manifestation, as only when we get a problem, we look in all the spiritual solutions. And of course, spiritual solution is the only solution we can apply so that we live in a blissful way and towards the space of enlightenment. So with that, we'll now be coming to the beautiful live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And I request all the viewers, all the participants to please get ready. Please settle down. Sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Intensely visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in your third eye and chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and get ready to receive the live darshan and initiation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.